How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Continues to Tick. First things first, thank you all for stopping by. The journey of growing up this dividend growth portfolio. It has been fun, and a journey nonetheless. But before I dive into showing you the biggest 1-week growth I've had in my dividend portfolio in a while, and also sharing with you one thing I would have done differently in my dividend investing process so far, after 1 year of dividend investing, I just have to say, interestingly enough, given how much I've been around COVID-19 for the last year and a half as a nurse, I've never actually had COVID, thankfully. And with that, never actually been ordered to quarantine either. Until just last week, I was informed I was a close contact with high-risk exposure. Thus, I'm currently on home quarantine and not allowed to go into work for the moment, which hasn't happened to me before. But as long as I stay healthy, the timing for this quarantine is actually not that bad. Now though, let's switch the tone a bit. As you're aware, I've been investing strictly for dividends for slightly over a year now. And I can say confidently, it's quite noticeable that this strategy is not for everyone. People do come and go with this strategy, and not everyone stays with it to see it through. But as my channel name infers, I don't mind things that do happen to take time. After all, before I even started investing in dividends, I recognized fully it truly does take time. Not a maybe, a guarantee. It does take time. Investing in dividends is slow, and even slower the less you invest at a time. So do take note of that. But this video is about, as the title notes, if there was one thing I'd change about my dividend investing journey so far, what would it be and why? Well, this was actually a somewhat difficult one to think about for me. It's not that there's absolutely nothing I'd change so far, but it's the fact that I've actually been quite comfortable in my journey so far. With the progress, the structure, and given this context, this question does make me feel like I'm nitpicking in some sort of way, as I love dividend investing. But my journey can't be 100% perfect. So after some thought, I soon realized if able to change anything about my dividend journey so far, it would have been to have started to invest in dividends sooner. For further context, I didn't start investing in dividends until after 1 year into the workforce. And as you all who invest in dividends know, 1 year in the dividend sphere can definitely and exponentially be impactful towards progress in the dividend portfolio overall. And plus, well, that's an entire year of just plain investing time I would have gained also. And that alone potentially maybe would have been 1 year off in terms of future working necessity. And trust me, although I'm only 25, I already don't want to work in a job I need for livelihood. I'd rather be working because I want to. And it doesn't mean nursing's not right for me. It's currently right for me. It provides what I need. But the sight of observing an individual in the workforce who's been in it for 20 plus years, literally, counting the last days to retirement, is a learning lesson in and of itself. And I'd imagine, at that stage in the game, a year off of work, needed to retire, can and will make the difference in someone's world. And now for the quick weekly reminder to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't yet already, as this journey won't be stopping anytime soon. Plus, every like in this video keeps me motivated to keep driving my noisy, rattling when I drive it, 2000 Toyota Camry. Oh yeah. And now, how about let's make our way into one of the best weekly performances in the dividend portfolio this week. A great example of a week's performance that puts the growth in the dividend growth portfolio. So with that being said, here we are in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, currently passing the midway point of August 2021, currently sitting at $34,176. This is currently with an overall return for the portfolio almost touching 40% once again. And this 39.71% equates to a total portfolio gain of $5,517. And it was a moment also where we had recently passed the $5,000 mark. And here we are now at $5,500 plus. So definitely no complaints from me right now. And of this total gain, according to M1 Finance here, it says earned dividends alone is $517.52. And market gain, almost just from market gain alone, it was almost $5,000 at $4,999.89. And do take note, this is from the all-time charts. And just as I was saying earlier, this last week puts the growth in the dividend growth portfolio, at least here in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, as we had a 1.34% return. And this return, it equates to a total gain for the portfolio of $451. And we can see that of this, most of it is from market gain alone of $422.81. And if we look right below this, we can see $28.96 is from earned dividends. And if we actually take a closer look down below just to see what it was that was behind a lot of this growth over this last week, we can notice here on consumer staples, 3% return was the biggest gainer, along with healthcare here at also 3% return for the week. And if we take a look here, surprisingly enough, tech was actually in the red at 0.06%. Barely in the red, but red nonetheless. And now taking a look into the activities section for this past week. Not exactly too much happened, but that's okay. Here we are starting on August 11th with our $500 deposit, just like we always do. And then funneling it into the portfolio. Last week we had a $23 snowball. Here we are with the $3 snowball. Snow is snow. It's not a $20 snowball, but I will take it every single time. And here we are on August 12th getting paid from Apple, $1.41. And there's always a little bit of a nostalgic little memory when it comes to seeing the Apple dividend payout, as my very first dividend payout from Apple, as I say from time to time, was 8 pennies. And here we are now, although it's not much, but compared to 8 pennies, I'd always rather have $1.41. At least with this, I can actually buy something now, right? And then here we are on August 13th, getting paid from O, $3.49. So that's going to be it for this week's video. This week was a nice example of the growth in a dividend growth portfolio. The growth can technically happen in multiple ways. It can come from growth in the dividend yield, and it could just come from stock appreciation over time. That growth factor. A lot of people who invest in tech, that's kind of what you're investing for. It's for that stock appreciation of buying low, selling high. The time aspect is the one thing I can't control, but what I do with it, in a way utilizing it as a tool, I think that's where the progress will be made over time. I think that's ultimately where most of the progress will be made, is just having a game plan and letting time do the rest. And so, as I move onward with my quarantine, I will say we made it through 7 days. So we have a high chance we'll make it through another 7 days. And until then, as always, look forward to seeing you then. And as always, take care. Peace.